Hola, mijos. I have the first story out of the new book, The Calm Buddha at Bedtime. This first one is called Percy Wins the Prize. Look at that silly ostrich. What's going on? Let's find out. Take a deep, relaxing breath, snuggle down, and listen carefully to this tale about an ostrich called Percy, who was fed up with not being able to see very well. He never knew where he was going, and his knees were bruised from bumping into things. One day, all that changed. Let's read the story and find out. One morning, Percy was walking through the forest. He was thinking about the village fair and how he longed to win the running race. But it's no good, he sighed. I will just bump into everything. Just as he was thinking that, he almost stepped on a quail's nest. Look out, you long-legged fool! You nearly trod on my eggs, squawked Mrs. Quail. She flapped her feathers and flew into Percy's face. Shoo! What's going on? He cried in surprise and ran away. What? Poor Percy ran straight into a tree. Ouch, he said. His knees crumpled and he slid to the ground in a daze. He began to cry. Tears flowed down his beak and plopped into the ground in a big puddle. Please stop crying. You're going to drown me, muttered a tiny voice at Percy's feet. Percy gulped back his tears and rubbed his eyes, lowered his head, screwed up his nose, and squinted at the ground. He could just make out a bright rainbow-colored shell. Two twinkling blue eyes on long stalks stared up at him. Hello, I'm Kevin, said the snail, and one twinkly blue eye winked at Percy. Why are you crying? By now he had climbed up onto Percy's foot out of the puddle of tears. Percy broke into sobs again. Oh, Kevin, he said, I want to win the running race at the village fair. I have the fastest legs for miles around. Lucky you, said Kevin kindly. I can't run fast. I don't have any legs. He wiggled his squishy body and laughed. But my fast legs are no use, said Percy. Not really. My eyesight is so bad I can't see where I'm going. Oh dear, said Kevin. I wonder what can be done. He was a clever little snail and believed every problem has a solution, so he sat and he thought. I know, he said. I could be your eyes. I have excellent eyesight. I'll sit on your head and tell you where you're going. Really? Said Percy. You would help me like that? Of course I would, said Kevin. He was already slithering up toward the top of Percy's head. I would very much enjoy a fast ride. Let's have a practice now. All right, said Percy, and as soon as Kevin was settled, Percy began to run. Whee! Cried Kevin as they thundered along the path. Look out for that tree on the left. Percy swerved out of the way. And Mrs. Quail's nest is just in front of you, warned Kevin. Percy darted sideways away from the precious eggs. Thank you for being so careful, cried Mrs. Quail. Whoopee! Cried Percy, and he ran on faster than ever. Percy was ecstatic. He told Kevin there was a whole week until the big race. The two friends practiced every day, enjoying lots of chatting and laughter as they did so. The other animals watched in wonder as Percy sped about, leaving a trail of dust behind him. Look how fast I can run, he boasted. I'm going to win first prize. We are going to win together, said Kevin in his tiny voice. But Percy took no notice. He just kept on practicing, with Kevin showing him the way. Soon Percy didn't bother even to say good morning to Kevin when they met to practice, and he never said thank you when they were finished each night. Huh? Instead, he just blurted out instructions. Hurry up and tell me where to go, he ordered the little snail. Turn left, said Kevin quietly, and look out for that fallen tree trunk. He was sad that Percy had started ordering him around in this way. On the morning of the village fair, Kevin tried to tell Percy how he was feeling. I thought we were a team, he said, but the big bird just snapped his beak. Stop moaning. You're lucky you get to ride with me at all. Today's the big race, and I'm going to win the prize. We will win it together, said Kevin, again as Percy took his place with the other runners at the starting line. Oh, do be quiet. If it wasn't for me, you'd still be living under a rock, scolded Percy. I'm fast. I am a winner. I am the best of the best. You are not fast. You are not. But Kevin wasn't listening anymore. He'd had enough. While the ostrich was bragging and without saying a word, Kevin had climbed onto a leaf and disappeared into the bushes, leaving boastful Percy to race alone. Bang! The starting gun sounded and the race began. Percy started to run, but without Kevin's help, he couldn't see where he was going. Kevin, where are you? He squawked. All he could see was a fuzzy mist. He tripped over his own feet and landed in a heap in the thick bushes. The other runners sped away. Oh dear, he said, untangling his feather from a particularly prickly bush. I've been a very silly ostrich. I'll never win the race now. Then he started to cry. But it wasn't losing the race that made him sad. It was the thought that he had lost his friendship with Kevin. Excuse me, can you please stop crying, said a voice below him, or I am going to drown. Percy squinted at the ground. Kevin, he cried, I'm sorry I was so mean, especially when you were so kind to me. He hung his head in shame. We were a team. Yes, said Kevin, we were. Then, seeing Percy was truly sorry, he said, Thank you for realizing how bad you made me feel. I forgive you. Can we be friends again? Yes, please. Friends, agreed Percy, and Kevin climbed onto Percy's head. As they began to walk away together, Kevin said, I'm sorry that you didn't win the race. Perhaps we can have another go next year, and you can try to win the prize then. That would be fun, agreed Percy, but the thing that matters most is that you and I are friends again. That sounds like a very good story. What do you think today's lesson is? True friendship is precious and should never be taken for granted. A wise person knows that a good friend is the greatest prize that can be won. This is true. A very true story. I like it. So, that is tonight's story, and I will read another one to you. I hope tomorrow night, but we'll see how it goes. I love you, boys, and I will talk to you soon. Love you. Bye.